Hello everybody and welcome to another dirty bootleg bonanza, courtesy of the team over at Sir Toys. Today we're taking a look at Jungle Warrior BW-10, aka a knockoff of the masterpiece Tigatron. I recently got this in from Sir Toys. It says here, specification, colours and contents may vary from illustrations. My box is a little bit battered, but that'll be our lovely folks at Royal Mail. Yeah, that's basically all we get with the box. I don't know what happened to BW-1 through to 9, but this is BW-10. And here we have him out of his plastic prison. And he looks sensational. Still not a huge fan of the arm panels. Obviously that's carried over from the original, but it's pretty accurate to his screen counterpart. Absolutely adore what they've done with this figure as well. The KO is extremely robust. Colours are incredibly vibrant, and it's less than half the price of the official. But hey, I do try and support the official products where possible. I've got pretty much every official Beast Wars figure, all bar the Black Cheetor and this guy. Then I've also got the KOs of them as well, but absolutely adoring what they did with Tigatron. I love that Takara gave us a transforming chest as opposed to that faux chest that we got with Cheetor. I just really didn't get on with that and didn't see the point in it, whereas this is much more kind of what I was expecting. He does come with a plethora of accessories, which I will cover shortly, but all in all, first impressions, really nice solid piece. Looks sensational, and I don't appear to have any major QC issues. Let's cover the accessories. He does come with the gun, which you would expect. He comes with the stand plate. He comes with the Megatron head. If any of you are wondering what this is in reference to, I think it's the second from last episode. Now I think the last episode was a two-parter, so it's probably the third from last episode of season 1, before the storm. Basically, Megatron calls a truce because he finds another planetary disk and he wants to investigate it. Tigatron basically sneaks into the base, plugs himself in to one of the Predacon computers using this cable here, which attaches to the side of his head. And then there's like this 3D game that he has to play, a bit like an Ocular Rift. And then he swipes a few times around, forming Megatron's head, and then he gets access to the files. So I'm assuming that's what it's in reference to. Yes. We get Megatron's head, and we get the missile pods, which attach to the underside of the arm. And then we get these different face sculpts, all done really nicely. This one's probably the weakest. It's got a little tiny sprue mark underneath there. Similar sort of face, but with those blue eyes. I think the blue eyes were when he plugged himself in to the computer system. And then we've got kind of a snarling red there as well. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think the original MP came with a massive great stand like we get with Megatron, and that did it, but this one does. So he comes with another giant stand. I've got about 12 of these now, which is great because I want to set them all up and have a big Beast Wars display once I have the space. I do love masterpiece figures like this because this one isn't trying to delude anybody, is it? It's clearly by the box a bootleg. It's not like Tanaka Tomy, or it's not just copied the Takara box. It's clearly completely different packaging, so you can instantly tell. But if somebody's selling these loose on the internet, then I would be incredibly wary. I would assume that they're probably trying to sell you a bootleg. If the price is too good to be true, then it probably is. Unlike his official counterpart, this guy comes packaged in his bot mode. So it's already set for the display. Mine actually came with one green eye and one orange eye. One had been turned around, one hadn't. Weren't really sure why. And these actually come with QC stickers, which is something new, especially for a KO. I've not seen that before, but it's very welcome nonetheless. Let's see how he fares alongside some more of the Maximals. I mean, that's a pretty decent lineup, isn't it? I always thought he was about the same sort of height as Dinobots. Maybe Rhinox is, I'm not sure. It's hard to tell from the animation, isn't it, really? Need to get my Beast Wars scale chart out from Mike and have a look at that. I had to throw in the old Transart Transmetal Prime in there as well, just because he looks fantastic. I've actually got the Transmetal Cheetor en route as well, so that'll be nice to see how that fares up. But I think Tigatron's a really good size, and because I had some of my Predacons transformed up as well, here he is alongside Megatron and Black Arachnia. Here we have him set up, so he's plugged in to the machine, got those blue eyes, and he's making the Megatron head in virtual reality. Just because I love that head. I think that's a freaking amazing head. Now if this is your first time taking a look at Tigatron, let's have a look at his articulation. The head can move left and right. Look up on a double hinge there and down. Really nice upwards motion, so you can look up at all of the big guys. We've got a kind of butterfly joint going on here on the torso. Also an extra joint here. There's an upper bicep rotation. There's a nice bend, albeit incredibly tight on this thing. On those elbows, got fully articulated wrists along with a really nice pivot on the wrists as well. We get a waist rotation. There is, in amongst all of that, a abdominal crunch as well. Legs can come forwards on lovely ratchets. Listen to that. Out to the side on a friction joint. Upper thigh rotation at 2 points there. There's squeaky, but it works. There's an upper knee rotation, and then we've got a nice bend on that knee. Not the most natural of bends, but adequate, and it does the job. And then coming down to the feet, we've got up and down. We've got some pivot, and we do have left and right, something I really do love on my figures. There's some die cast in amongst here somewhere. I can feel it. It's hard to tell what's die cast and isn't. I think the heel spurs are. I think my heel spurs are a little bit loose on this one, and I need to just adjust my whiskers, but there we go. Doesn't he look sensational? I don't know, something about him. He is a gorgeous looking piece. Definitely one of the most posable Beast Wars figures that I've had to date. Now, of course, we're not just here to gush over robot mode, are we? We're here to take a look at the transformation as well. Like most of these KOs, this does not come with any instructions, so unfortunately I will just have to wing it. Let's just open up this section here, like so. Now, if you look here, this opens up, and this is meant to rotate inwards, but it looks like we've got an extra piece here preventing that from folding inwards. It should definitely fold. I don't want to have to force it, so I'm going to go and apply a little bit of heat from a hairdryer, and we'll see how that goes. I think there's just too much paint on there, or they haven't trimmed it back enough. There we go. That's literally all it took, was a little bit of a hairdryer. It's here. It applied a little bit too much paint, so it was getting stuck. But now that'll fold over nicely. We do have a small mark there now, unfortunately, but at least it fully transforms. Come around to his back and untab these legs from each other. This panel here is going to just, come on, untab like so, and come up and untab like so. When you actually buy it, it's not actually tabbed in, it's actually just bent over, and it folds up really nicely and just locks at the top here, which actually doesn't look too bad. Just being hinged up there kind of sits really nicely. but that's how it comes as standard anyway. But you need to untab those and just separate these legs. We can bring this down, and the feet are going to come up. Bring that down, and the feet are going to come up. Next order of action is to flip this piece up and over. Now, it seemed easy on this one, didn't it? This one, they'd misaligned the pin, so I had to heat it up again, and basically there was actually a really large hole on the inside here where they'd pushed it through. So QC02, whoever you are, you didn't do a very good job. But yeah, I managed to get that to work. I heated it up, popped the pin out, pushed it back in again whilst it was still warm, and then pushed the pin back in. So now it flips over so it's at the right angle. These need to come up to the side. These parts on the thighs need to rotate around to the back. So you've got the holes at the front, like so. These are going to need to split. So we need to just, come on. There we go, 1 and 2. These open and come around to the rear, like so. The legs are going to rotate, so the animal section is out on the rear. This is going to come up, like so. That's going to rotate, and that's going to come down. And this joint here just pushes, and it's actually going to slide along a smidge, like so. This here opens up like this and opens up. That's going to rotate around, and it goes one way. So it comes up like this. This piece here opens, this closes, and this rotates around like so. The shin panel is going to come down like this, and that comes all the way down to the front. There's this panel at the back here, that opens up. You want to move this anklet all the way around, applying pressure to the hinge, not to the actual plastic. There's no point in chancing fate. Is a hinge that up, and that's going to come in, and that's on a hinge there, and that's actually going to push down. Down he goes. There we go. And then this closes off. The front of the knee panel is on a rocking hinge that comes over. This is going to collapse, and this goes over the top of the leg like that. Let me get in nice, close and personal with Cheetor's crotch. This is going to tab in there. Whoop. And same on this side, tab that in. Come on. There we go. These knee panels are going to tab in as well. And this comes up, and this one comes up like so. These are going to come all the way around into that void like so, and like this. So we're left with something that looks like this at the moment. Rotate the entire waist around, and then grabbing the head, you want to pull that forward, and you're going to bring this green tab at the back there off, and this part here is going to fully extend outwards. Such a funky little mechanism. I just love that tiger head. With this part extended, the head is going to come backwards, and that's going to tab in to this section here. You can then come around to the tail. This is going to come up. This is going to straighten up like so. This comes up, and this can curl. This can come around. You can then press down on this waist panel, which allows this piece here to come up, and this is all going to rotate down. As you can see now, it's now all going to line up with those rear end pieces that we've already got into position. Absolutely adore how that works. Really nicely done, Takara. And with this panel now flapping over the back here, we're going to move this head section up, and you see this neck piece here, that's going to tuck down the other side of that neck joint. Sorry, that just looks funny. Bring in your gun, and that's going to fit on the underside just here. There we go. Now you want to bring the hands in and close them off. This is going to come down. This is going to extend fully, and these arms are going to rotate around, and they're going to kind of sit at an angle on that wrist, because these are going to sit in nice and snug when we open up these tabs, like so. Bring that down, bring this one open as well. There's a small tab just on the torso here. You want to bring that up first, and that's going to lock into position, and then that now allows all of this to come around, and that's all going to just push and tab in. Hands are going to come down, and then this is going to latch. And latch, and then push and secure. Bring these arms in, and as we bring these in, this part comes down, and bring these panels into the middle, like this. This is then gonna push into the torso and attempt to tap them in underneath. I think that's kind of right. We're gonna flip these up. Look at that, that's just scary. You're gonna want to rotate these eyes at the front, although mine don't look that sharp, do they? There we go. There's the green. And then finishing touches, just make sure that these are tabbed in to this neck panel piece. And there we have the almighty Tigatron. Still a little bit iffish at the rear end there, but leaps and bounds better than Cheetor in my opinion. Mine doesn't quite tab in all the way, but still really nice. Look at this. What have I done to those eyes? Just need to come around a little bit, don't they? There. That's better. There we go. In terms of scaling, now I don't have two of every maximal and Protagon, but these are the ones I do have. So you can see that's a pretty decent scale, isn't it? I think he looks exceptionally well alongside Primal, for example. I think that's pretty much spot on. In terms of articulation, the head can look left and right. We can go up and we go down. We've already seen that the jaw can move. The arms can come out to the side. We can move them up and down. We've got the hinge on that arm there. Got the paws that can come up and they can rotate and pivot, come around to the rear. And we've got a little bit of rotation in and out there. We've got some up and down. We've got some pivoting side to side on the rear. And we've got the curl on that tail as well. So yes, not all of my panels pegging exactly where I want them to, but he does hold together still remarkably well. Much better than the previous KOs that I've got for like Dinobot and Megatron. Nice solid piece, gorgeous paint apps. Couple of tweaks there with that hairdryer to get him perfect, but overall really happy with him as a character. Gorgeous piece, and I think I may have to order a second now, so then I have one for bot mode and one for beast mode. Thanks again to Sir Toys for making this review possible. We've included a link in the description down below, and until next time, for myself and the rest of the Collectables household, thank you all for watching. Goodbye.